Welcome back, ladies and gents. As I said at the end of the last session, that I was going to cut some wood up. Turns out I only needed 26 more pieces, more planks. So what I wound up doing was just moving the wood that was stacked up here down here and just cutting 13 logs, and I stacked the rest of them as well as all the materials right down here. So if in the future, when I'm building other things, I can just saw it all right here. And these are the 26 logs. I don't know if it's exactly 26, but it's enough to complete what needs to be done. I just didn't want to do it off camera. This requires none. This requires 6, and this requires 20. So that's the 26 planks. So let's get that in there right now. Might as well go ahead and start with the small stack. And yes, I don't know why I didn't just run out the side door there. $14 more. Stacks of 8. So it's going to take 2 trips more. This should complete, well, no, the door. I was going to say this should complete the barn. But the door, I'm just hoping it looks better, because I can't believe that it's a newly built barn and it looks like it's been out in the weather for years and years and years. So I'm hoping when I complete this door, which is the last piece of the barn, that it'll look like a new barn. 3 metal. And it does not. It did not change appearance at all. It still looks like crap. I don't understand that. How can a newly built structure... The house looks nice. It's not weathered at all. Why does this barn look like crap? Why is it that the barn looks like crap? I don't know. I don't understand. What was that? Oh, it's probably cut down... Yeah, cut down a tree. Okay, well, I've got the barn up. And this thing is 150. I did go to the store and buy more metal. That's the only thing I did. I left a ranch to go do that. I haven't done any of the... I haven't sold any honey or anything of that nature. I just left here, went and bought 150 metal, or enough to fill this up. We'll get this completed. And then my plan, if everything goes the way I want it to, is I'm going to fence the entire area in that the water covers, the water tower covers. Which would be the entire green area here. Now I'm not sure how fencing works. By looking at it in the book, it doesn't really look like it's... These are only 2 fencing choices you have, and they require 4 for the regular fence. And I notice they don't snap or anything like that, so you just have to place them to the best of your ability, I guess. Okay, rotate, is that the mouse, okay. And Q and E is up and down. Okay, that's down and up. All right, so we want it to go down, because if we had pigs, we didn't want them to be able to... I just don't know how... I guess that's okay. Let's see what that looks like. I guess that's okay. Of course, I just now realized my mistake. Let's go the other direction. I want the fence, not the gate. Now, I need to change. No, that don't help. I need to be... Look, I'm on the left side of the character, but moving over to the right side doesn't help any. I think that is... I can't... See, that even though I'm on the right side of the character, I'm on the wrong side of the... Hang on. I need to be on the same side that the fence is connecting with so that I can see better. Let's try this. Oh, man, that's not going to... It's not going to work, is it? Because I can't get my character to go any further to the left than this right here. So I'm going to have to... I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't get this to go any further left from this angle. Let me see if I can kind of turn sideways and then rotate this and go down. But I cannot see. I guess that's going to be good enough. Let's take a gander. No, it's I think this needs to go back further. It's difficult to do though, since you can't get any closer. Let's go down. See, I can't tell it. That looks to me like it's... And rotate that in. But it moves as you're rotating it. I think that's as far down as it'll go. So let's take a gander at that. Well, that's going to have to be good enough. That did snap. Okay. So did that. All right. Well, maybe we're getting somewhere. Oh, this is going to take a lot. Each one of these is 4 wood. You got to be careful because you can't use it. Notice it's not a free move. It actually jumps about 1 foot every time you scroll your mouse wheel. So you can't actually just slowly move it where you want it. So I have to be very careful. I'm already gone outside the line. So you're either too far out the line or too far inside the line. And that's unfortunate. You're going to wind up losing area, even though it'll be such a small amount. This is not going to be... I guess it looks all right. You know what I just realized, though? The first one I planted, I moved it all the way down. But the rest of them I have not, so it's going to be a little higher. That's okay. I can live with that. It's not like I'm going to have chickens here that can go underneath it, I guess. And since I'm going for cows, even though in the future, who knows... Yeah, I should have been moving that down the whole time. Yep, I made a mistake, but, you know, I just have to live with it for now. I could go back and fix it, for sure, because nothing's been built yet. So I'll just take a gander at what it looks like. Now, here's the interesting part. As I talk about doing this, I don't do it again. There's going to be a gate here somewhere. I guess I want the gate to be right here. So let's see if I can pre-position a gate. I get the feeling that the gate, since it takes more wood, it might not be the same size as the rest of the fencing. And I think that's going to be a problem. I can already tell this is not going to line up. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to have to delete that. Put one more fence and then put the gate. Why do I keep grabbing that weapon? Red Dead flashbacks? I don't know. Okay, there's the gate right there. How does that look? I guess that's okay. Be better if it was, you know, right here. But I do want to kind of keep it lined up with the road. Just because it makes sense to me. Also got to remember that don't put any... Why is this down and further? See how that's already automatically lower even though I lowered this one? Maybe because it connected to the fence, it couldn't go any lower. Or to the gate, I mean. Just have to let it go like that. I'm wondering, I got to be careful when I put the troughs down because it's my understanding that if it only works when they're in this green area, and I need to be careful not to put a trough like right here because this is outside of the green area and I don't know how finicky the game is. So I got to make sure the troughs are closer in towards the tower, the water tower. Yeah, I'm getting a little too far out now. Oh, there it's coming back. Like I say, you're either too far out or you're too far in since you can't really, you know, these are straight pieces of wood and you're working on a circular pattern and you just cannot fine-tune it. Each little scroll moves it, like I say, about a foot. So you can't manually move it. Well, let me try something. Let me try holding shift key and move. No, it doesn't do anything. All right. I thought like Transport Fever 2, if you want to move something a tiny amount, you hold shift and then rotate the wheel and it moves it a little bit. It doesn't work here. Yeah. All right, I think I'll wait. Well, that means if each one of these takes 4 wood, that is a lot of friggin' wood. Which means while I was cutting wood, I should have just cut it off. And I'm going to have to anyway because I'm going to have to go through here. See if I can connect this. Let's go ahead and get this part done. Go around to the other side. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do once I've got this done. Once the fence is done, how I'm going to break this up. I thought that I would just put cattle in here, and it may still be what I do, but I'm thinking that more or less these are milking parlors, that you have to have the cows in here to milk. I don't know that to be true. I just think that might be the case. Otherwise, what's the point of just having 2 of them? Because that's very tiny. I would expect there to be 3 per side based on the size of the barn. But since there's only 2, I have to assume. That makes me think, and you know what happens when you assume, but it makes me think that there's a reason you only get 2, and that's because the cows have to be in there to milk. So I don't know. We'll see. Well, that being the case, I just need to saw a bunch of wood, and I should have thought ahead, and unfortunately I did not. Where does the... Oh, there it is. Yep, it's full of fuel. I did fill it up. You can see the jerry can's a little empty. So I think what I have to do, although I don't recall, let me pick this up. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to saw a little bit here. Although I just thought of something. Let me pack this up and go to the store because I remember there was a table saw that is the next level of table saw. Where coming from this angle? There we go. I don't see my road. Oh, it's going to be in the hardware store. No, no, don't go that way. Go this way. Hardware store for the table saw, right? Not the general store. I would imagine. So let me go see what the difference is between these two saws are. Just in case I do decide to... Well, you can't set that up. Apparently it has to be... You cannot be boxed sitting on the ground. Let me see what the difference is between these two table saws. Where are they at? Really? I must have went right by them because surely the table saw is in the hardware store. Oh, there it is. All right, luxury table saw. I don't know what the difference is other than the price. One has to assume it's faster. I think it's faster. Although, no, that can't be. I was going to say that looks like it's got an electrical cable to it, but there's no electricity in the game. The lights just work. There's nothing you have to run. I was thinking maybe this one runs on petrol because it's out in the open, and this one might be electric. But I don't. Let me just find out. It's not like I'm short of money. You're welcome. Now let me see if I can take both of these back, because I don't want to sell this one, the little one, if this one's not going to work for some reason. Let me take both of these back. Yep, they do. It is different pictures. Very good. And of course, as I've mentioned before, we got to have our 3 weather cycles in one day. So sunny to raining, just noon. I think when I don't know if this is one developer or a team of developers, but they really need to rethink their weather cycle, because I think they have confused. They're confused about the weather cycle because of the compressed time and days. You know, obviously this is not a 24-hour period for a day, but that doesn't mean that you need to have 3 or 4 weather events every 60 minutes in the game. That's just ridiculous. And hopefully they'll think about that and realize how asinine it is. All right, let's see if I can set this thing up. I don't know which way. Let's try it this way and see if that's the direction I want to come from. Nope. Of course it wouldn't be. Why would it? Now, I don't remember what it looked like. I think this is it. Is that the correct way? Yes. All right. Let me move this back just a tad. Is that? Oh, it comes with a generator. Did that come with this? Yes, it did. Okay, I didn't even notice that. Let me move it over so it's not in the way of that. There we go. All right, so you fill the generator with fuel. No, turn off. I just want to fill. I want this to be off. Maybe that's just the generator running. Why is it not full? Oh, okay. Will you please turn off? Oh, you got to turn the generator off. Jesus, Henry and Mary. Okay. And it does take more fuel. It almost took half of the jerry can. All right, let's see what is different about this. If it's faster, does it cut faster? It looks like it does, but that could just be my bias thinking that I bought something that's faster. So it must be. Oh, it carries the wood up here. Well, it pushed it off. I have no idea what that chuckle was there. It is 6 a.m. in the morning. I've just gotten out of the shower, so maybe my brain is not functioning properly yet. Not that it's ever going to function properly again. Nowhere near what it used to be when I was 30, for instance. Yeah, I'm going to say this is quicker. I couldn't say how much quicker, but it is. I guess I could set the other one up and then stick a log in each one of them. But there would be a little discrepancy as I move from a couple of milliseconds maybe. It'd probably be best to do with when you're playing with a co-op. That so many people type as coop. A coop is entirely different than co-op. Coop is something you put chickens in. It's alright, it's just a little pet peeve, I suppose. People asking for a coop. Well, there's coops in the game. I think there's 4 different kinds of coops. Yeah, this is going faster. This is, I think I can tell now it certainly is, because look at the stack we've already got. I don't know why that deer's hanging out at my tent up there. You see that deer? Now, the downside to this machine is I cannot see the fuel level of the generator. Okay, it's already half empty. So maybe it cuts faster, but it uses more fuel. So I guess that's a balancing thing. Where did that deer go? It was over there by the tent. I don't know where it went. As soon as I'm done with this is Friday morning. So as soon as I'm done with this, Friday morning, like I said, at 6 a.m., I'm going to record the Saturday Red Dead session. I'm looking forward to that. I really am. I don't remember what I did in the last one. So I'll have to review the video, but anytime I get to play that, I like it. Because I just think what could be. I was talking to one of my grandkids on Christmas Day, finding out if he liked any of the gifts I sent him, because they are on the other side of the country. Well, they're on the East Coast, and I'm in New Mexico, of course. See, before they were in Boston. They were still on the East Coast, but before that, they were in England, but they didn't exist yet. It's just my daughter and son-in-law spent years in England. So even though they're back in the States now, they're still a pretty good drive away. Probably between 1,500 and 1,700 miles. Probably closer to 1,700 miles. I don't know how many I need, but I decided I was just going to cut until these logs were out of the way for me to complete the fencing. So really just 2 more stacks will be enough. Provided the fuel will hold out. So I still got half, there's that deer. I still got half a jerry can. My oldest grandson who, the fuel tank is empty. Now I just said, we'll just stick that on there and leave it. He likes something called Bay Blades. I never even heard of it. B-E-Y blades, Bay Blades. So I wound up getting him something in that line, and apparently he likes that. So I guess it was a good purchase. And I got him a clock. Just to mention 2 of the things, I got him a clock that projects the universe onto the ceiling. I actually don't know if it's only when the alarm goes off or if you can press a button and it happens all the time. But when you're laying in bed looking up at the ceiling, it can either show auroras or the nighttime sky. Kind of like that. I hope that he would like it, and apparently he does. That's not. Don't press. Gotta press E, Joe. All right, I think this will be it. I don't know if that's enough wood. I'll cut more if I have to, but certainly that should allow me to put in the fence in that area. It's interesting that it hasn't taken all the fuel out of the... There we go. Now turn that off. I'm going to put that in the back. I think I can go sell that now. Let's see how much wood this netted me. How many planks, I should say. Is that done? I can't tell because it's green. Yeah, that's done. In fact, I think I'm going to turn that off because I cannot tell. I can't tell. Yeah, maybe I can now. I'm going to turn that off anyway. Don't need it right now. Probably the smart thing to do would be to load up the vehicle and drive it around, but no one's accused me lately of being smart. It's not that far to run. I was playing Bannerlord yesterday. Shoot, don't press the right. And it's my Marcus Agrippa one, one of the ones that I'm not recording. And my firstborn female child died in her very first battle. I had spent, I don't know, probably something like $500,000 decking her out in nice equipment. In the very first battle, she died. That was disheartening, to say the least. I don't have enough offspring yet to flesh out my army. I'm still using generic companions for my cavalry leaders. That's not supposed to happen. Don't do that. There we go. So it was quite a blow. Did set me back. I don't know why I can't get the right button. There we go. I sure hope this works out because this is going to be very tedious if I have to do this all over again. I sure wish it would stop raining. It's been raining it started at noon, and it's now 3:20. Did I get that one? Yeah, I guess I did. It's solid. And I think I'm only gonna go to the gate and then start on the other side. Because I think I want to leave a way to run through there for now. And then the very last thing I complete would be the gate itself. It's interesting that deer is kind of hanging around here. I don't know if I've ever noticed that before. See, it's right there now. Maybe I have and just don't remember it, but it just seems like I don't remember a deer really just hanging around on the ranch. I mean, it's the bunny ranch, not the deer ranch. Oh, that reminds me. I've never paid any attention, never noticed. Can you have rabbits here? If you can have chickens, I'd imagine you could have rabbits. But I honestly just never paid attention to it. And I didn't want chickens. The only reason I had chickens is because the tutorial makes you get them. Oh, look at that. That's not... Those two pieces right there where they connect, that looks terrible. But, you know, what are you going to do? You have to work with the tools you're given. Of course, not only is it continuing to rain, it's getting worse. So, which means here shortly I should scare myself by thinking I hear a bear, right? Because it seems like the wind blows at a certain way, and it does sound like a bear growling. I was actually considering just stopping and doing the wood cutting off camera, as it were, but It was interesting to be able to get the new table saw and see how it works compared to the other one. I'm gonna have to take the old one back. Well, I need to go get more fuel, so when I do that, I'll have to take the old one back and sell it. No sense in toting it around or leaving it on the ranch. You know, it's not taking as long as I thought it would. Of course, I'm not done, but it still is going. I'm more than halfway done. Yeah. Come on. Actually, I'm going to leave that because I'm going to drive through there to go to the store in a minute. In a little bit. Okay, so let's cut some more wood. How much? What's my fuel situation? I better take this out. It's got a little fuel left in it. Just go ahead and insert it. Did that turn on? I don't think so. Oh, it is on. I just can't hear it. Over the storm. See, that makes the storm louder, though, unfortunately. Okay. I don't want to do that. There's no independent, it's just sound effects, and that's everything other than the music, apparently. You know, you could theoretically, I could have. That deer scared me. I'm still thinking about bear. You could theoretically, not even theoretically, you could buy two of these and just set them side by side. You know, one on this side and one on that side, and just keep going between the two. And it would be twice as fast, of course. Maybe not quite twice as fast, but it would be faster than just using one at a time. Pick up a log, put it in there, pick up a log, put it in there, and just keep rotating back and forth. If I was the impatient type, that's probably what I would do. But I'm fine. I'm not, as I've said numerous times, I'm not trying to do everything in one setting. Although I've come to the conclusion on, I've been toying with the idea of recording any gameplay of Transport Fever 2. It's such an old game, but you know, I do play old games if I like them. And I've come to the conclusion, I've played it enough now. I think I bought it on around 1 November, so this is what, December 27th, I believe. So I've had it for 7 weeks maybe. And my theory all along is being bigger is better, right? So since I have a really nice computer, I play the experimental size maps. They're called Megala, what are they called? Maniacal, I think. Mega Maniacal, I think is what it is. But and it tells you when you create the map that there could be problems. You don't really know what's going to happen, but I just wanted the large size maps. And I've come to the conclusion that the smaller maps are better. And I'll tell you why I say that. Is because the game, I'm playing on hard. There is one level ahead. You know, you can play on very hard, but obviously I started on easy when I was learning the game, and then I moved to medium, and now I'm on hard. But it's still very easy. The only thing that's hard about it is the starting, because you have an X amount of money, and things cost more as you move the only thing that changes as you move the difficulty up is the amount of income you get. And I think at easy you get 100% income. At medium you get 80% income. At hard you get 60% income. And then maybe at very hard you get 40% income. I don't know those are the exact numbers, but the point is the only thing that changes is your income. So that's a lot of wood. Let's see. And it turns out that if you're a patient person like I am, when you're starting out, even on the hard difficulty, and I assume very hard, all you really have to do is get, say, 5 to 10 lines that are running and making money. Now, they may not, they might be making only $300 every every tick, every time it caches. But if you get 10 of them running, that's $3,000 every tick, and then it's just a matter of letting them run. And then once you've got, say, 10 lines up and running that are profitable, that's it. You never really have to worry about money again, in my experience. So it's a little when you have and unfortunately, I guess, I don't know if it's fortunate, unfortunately, but the way you're paid is the game pays you for speed and for distance. So unfortunately, I've got these big maps, and when I move when I move a train from one location to another location, even if it doesn't look like it's that far, it's a large distance because the map is so large. And I may get $7 million just from one train, just delivering from point A to point B, $7 million income. So I've decided that I think the smaller maps might be more of a challenge because the distance is not there, so you don't have that huge income from moving them a great distance. But we'll see. Oh, I'm out of fuel. That's not true, is it? This thing's got fuel in it, and it was attached to this. Why is it not? Okay, it's still going. I guess it doesn't actively draw from it. You have to remove it and then reattach it. At any rate, I think I'm going to... And I do like the islands, the maps that are... You can make maps that are just all land, or you can make them that are... I suppose you could make them all water, but what would be the point? You couldn't build anything. But basically, I do like the island maps with, say, a center mass that's like a continent, and then you got various islands that have resources and towns on them that you need to connect to with ships or perhaps airplanes. But I think a smaller map is what I'm going to play next. I've played 2 maps on hard, the mega size maps. One was a desert where I was not allowed to use any trains. I'm only using vehicles. Land vehicles, trucks. That's interesting, playing without trains, because you don't get that huge income every time a train completes. One train could carry as much as 30 trucks, So it is interesting, and I played the desert. It's a desert environment, no water on the map at all because of where I live. I live here in the desert. And I thought it would be the bigger maps would be better for airplanes because, unfortunately, the scale of the game makes airplanes not as important as you would think. And also, the plane stopped very early. I'm very disappointed that basically there's one airplane when it comes to moving passengers. That once you've got that plane, there's no reason to buy any other airplane for moving passengers, really, because it's a Boeing 757-200, and it's so good at what it does. It also has the quickest passenger loading time of any aircraft in the game that I've seen. So it's kind of disappointing that there's just one, there's one option basically once you reach that point. I like games that give you multiple options. And even when you can plop down at a large airport, and you can plop down a small airport once you hit a certain time frame. And then you can also, once you hit a certain time frame, you can open up, like add another runway or another taxiway to your airports. And more terminals. You can add more terminals to them, of course. But planes are really underwhelming, in my opinion. It's unfortunate. It's not something like Transport Tycoon Deluxe, for example, the original Transport Tycoon, or the deluxe version, which I've got boxed copies of. And their airplanes made sense. But, I guess the reason that Transport Fever is the way it is because it's highly detailed. The graphics are really nice, and you can actually watch each and every person moving around the map, and they all have a location in mind if they start moving. Just like cargo, cargo would not even be produced by anything if there's not a demand for it. So you can't just make send lumber to a lumber mill. It won't produce the lumber if there's no demand for lumber. It will accept the logs, it will accept the raw trees, but it's not going to produce any lumber. You first have to connect it to a consumer or an end user before they put in a demand for the lumber, then you go, pick up the lumber and do whatever else you want to do with it. So it's interesting concept, but I think it's probably needs to be another version of it that takes into consideration modern equipment. I think it suffers from the same thing as City Skylines, where it tries to. You're going to have a limit based on the number of agents. Is it nighttime? It's almost nighttime. Let's see what we got here. I'm just talking to kill time is basically what I'm doing. Oh, I need to turn this back on. As I'm cutting and building. That way it doesn't feel like I'm just wasting a lot of time doing nothing. Or a menial task, if you will. Oh, this is going to be interesting because how am I going to get... see, here's the thing. Since these are all one length, is this going to fit? Is this going to work properly? Let's see. No. See, and there's no halves or quarters. I've done all of this. Oh, I screwed myself, didn't I? Wow, look at that. I don't know what to do. Because you don't have any... This is the size. That's it. There's nothing in between them. Wow. I'm going to have to make it look... I'm going to have to do... All right. I guess I'm going to have to really screw up and do it like this. And try to make it where it'll be... That's not enough. Nope. How did you do this? Let me come from this side. It doesn't really matter where you come from, but... I think this is... Yeah, I think this is still work. All right, let's go at that angle. And then come around. And I just have to remember this back. This is not going to work either. Wait a minute. Maybe. So close. Okay, so this angle needs to be a little less. See, this is terrible that you should have to do this. I mean, who builds a game that requires parts to go together and then you don't make a half or a quarter? I don't know if that's actually... Is that touching? I can't tell. I think that's just going to have to be the way it is. I don't really have much of an option. Because there's no way to... Like I said, you don't have halves or quarters. That's the size you got, so you got to deal with what you got. That's very unfortunate. That deer is just determined to live here, isn't it? I got to turn this off. That's annoying me. There we go. Well, it looks like it took a full day, but I mostly got this built. I don't like the way that I had to do, again, I don't like the way I've had to do that, but I also don't think this game has any mods. I don't know. I've never looked, but I doubt it does because it's not a complete. It still has a lot of work to be done on it, in my opinion. Okay, that's it. We'll stack this lumber right there. Oh, gosh, don't click on an empty... I also was thinking about the way the grass is here. So I did find myself looking about the information on the mower, the lawnmower. And it seems that it will cut the grass, but it doesn't ever grow back. It's just a one-time thing. So I'm thinking maybe I should There might be some areas where I really want to cut some grass. This probably wouldn't be one of them because, you know, you want your cows to graze, for example. But maybe some areas up here you'd want it to... That's 7 planks. I remembered that, but I wasn't sure if it also took metal. So we'll just take a whole stack. The stack should be 8. Did that get 8? Yeah. All right, well, that's it. Now I've got to figure out... I think I'm going to spend some time thinking about how I want to do this. Because I believe... Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, so we want a food trough and a water bowl and a granary. Not a granary, a granary. Actually, I do need that granary. Oh, is this also, now that I think about it, this probably has a circular radius also, doesn't it? Yeah, and it better be the same or else I'm screwed. It is, more or less. Of course, I have to be further over. Ooh, this side is not going to quite do it, is it? Got to remember, you know what? I'm never going to have anything. I don't really think I need it back here in the barn itself. Let's try something here. Let's try to move it maybe here, if it'll go. Come on. How close can I get it? Right there. Now let's take a gander. Now I'm really going to be... That's okay. I can use this as a storage area, maybe. As long as the animals see it, still gets them to those two interior... Yep. So the animals can still feed and drink in here if they're in there for some reason. And what is this? 50 and 100. I think I might have... Let's throw some metal in there. I've only got 57. Well, that's better than nothing. I'll have to go get some more, but it's time to sleep now. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the... Boy, it is dark out there with this green up here. I can't see anything. And I also remember I got to open the gate now. Yeah, where is the gate? Oh, I'm... Okay. I really want to turn this off because I cannot see anything. Okay. Didn't I open both? Oh, it is open. All right, let's go to the tent and sleep through the night. And when I'll probably just end the recording here, and then when I come back, I'll go to the store. I'll sell this cheap table saw. I'll buy a new one and then buy the wood or the metal I need. Basically, start fresh in a new session. Let's sleep through the night. Is it? Get up. And actually, I got 10 minutes left, so let me do this. Let me harvest the honey. Take it to the store with me since I'm going to the store. And it's been quite some time since I harvested the honey. I didn't mess with it while I was sawing that wood earlier. And let's face it, I don't know how much cows cost. That's something else I got to look at when I get there. No idea. They could be very expensive. And then I guess I got to buy the grain to fill that thing to put in the granary. Although that shouldn't be called a granary, that should be called a silo, but that's a whole nother issue. Did I just drop that? No. It only looked like it. That won't take long. I cannot remember if 5 hives will completely fill 5 honey barrels. I want to say no, but I'm just not certain. That's how long it's been since I've done it. I don't remember. Also, Subnautica, man, I had an issue with that, Subnautica, and that's the first time I've had an issue with it. For some reason, I'm playing in what's called survival mode. For some reason, I think during my last recording, the game just flipped to where I wasn't using any oxygen or food or water. I don't know how or why, because there's no in-game settings to make that happen. So it's got me, oh, no, leave that in there. It's got me baffled. Never happened to me. Well, obviously it's never happened to me before. So I'm hoping that just by stopping the game and restarting it, that it's going to clear that, what I'm considering a glitch. Because it says I've only got the one save, and it clearly says when I start the game, survival mode. But it just was not. It was like in a, I don't know what they called it in that game. Maybe free build or something like that. But I hope it does clear, because I'd hate to have to do the rest of the game without having to worry about food and water and health. But more importantly, I'd hate to have to redo it all over again and get me back to the stage I'm at now. Come on, get in there. All right. That's only 3? Yeah. Definitely not going to fill 5. Well, I say definitely. I don't see that happening. I could be wrong. I just don't remember. $5.5. Yep. Get in there. Come on. Character turning on its own is just so annoying. Yeah, it's not going to fill. It'll fill a partial, but it's not going to fill that 5th one full. I'm going to take it. Just because so that the hives the frames are more or less, they're similar to each other in their completion. Whereas this one will be left at something like 62%, I think. Rather have them all be, near 2%. Come on. All right. Close that. No, I didn't want to turn it on. Just wanted to close it. Then we'll sell all this. It won't be $1,500 because that one's not full. But we'll sell that. I guess we can sell the honey at the store. I have forgotten how many I need, how much metal I need here. Oh, concrete, 50 concrete. And I might as well get 150 metal because they come in containers of 50. So I get 150 metal and 50 concrete. I'll sell this honey. Can I do all that in 4 minutes? Doubtful. Am I going to try? Yep. All right. I just really, really hate, and I don't use that word lightly, I hate the driving mechanics. I'm not one of those kids that likes, what is it called? Drifting? Not at all. Not at all. To me, if you're drifting, then you don't know how to drive. And that's from someone who used to race professional go-karts. Okay. Oh, man, I wish I could get that fuel out of there. Did I bring I forgot the gas tank. The gas can, the jerry can. And it's empty. Let me sell this stuff first. It's another $1,400. And then let me buy 150 of these and 50 concrete. There, that should do it. $1,750. Check out. Pretty sure that's all I needed. Stack these first, and I believe I can set the honey barrels on top of this stuff that's stacked flat like this if I need to. I don't think I will need to, though. We'll see. Probably, yes. Okay, well, there we go. Now I know I don't need to. And surprisingly, I was able to do this in 4 minutes. And got 1 minute, 45 seconds to spare. So I think I'll have time to drive back to the house. To the Bunny Ranch. Sometimes I forget how close this actually is to where the ranch is. You basically just over that hill right there. Map's not that large overall. Get over this rise and just head a little bit into the woods here and you're already on the Bunny Ranch. Let me stop up here to put the honey barrels back. All right, I'm going to end it right here. When I come back the next session, I'm going to see about completing the food source, and then I'm going to I'm going to try to determine how best I want to go about. I forgot to check the price of cows, but I don't think they sold cows there at the hardware store anyway. But I'll figure all that out in the next session. Catch you then. Adios.